purpose of this video is to document the amazing trip I took in July of 2024. The black line on this map represents my trip out west. The red line represents my trip back east and home. Overall, I covered a little over 6,700 miles. After leaving West Virginia, I made my way north through Ohio and Michigan, reflected by this map. On my way, I camped at a great KOA in Ann Arbor, Michigan, beside this beautiful lake. I then made my way north to the beautiful Mackinac Bridge, which to this day is the longest suspension bridge in the Western Hemisphere. My plan was to spend 2 nights in St. Ignace and then travel to Mackinac Island to check the place out. Here, Amazon delivers packages on Mackinac Island by horse-drawn wagon. In the summer, there are over 600 horses on the island which perform various duties. I was fortunate to snag a ride on a wagon tour. I passed a horse-drawn garbage truck. Quite interesting. A highlight of my wagon tour was Arch Rock.
When the night has come,
I passed the governor's mansion on Mackinac Island.
and the moon is the only light
In 1814, the English defeated the Americans in the Battle of Mackinac Island. The view from the fort was spectacular, and it was a gorgeous day.
stand by me. So darling,
On my wagon tour, I passed the Grand Hotel. Rooms $700 a night plus tax, and it is rumored to have the longest porch in the world.
stand by me, stand by me.
As the next day was overcast, I decided to visit Tahquamenon Falls, which is about 75 miles north of Mackinac Island. The falls is improperly named. It should be called Coca-Cola Falls because it is very brown, almost like Coca-Cola, but it doesn't affect the fish or anything else. It was a nice visit. I enjoyed it. The next day, I made my way up north and passed the beautiful shoreline of Lake Superior. Here's a few views of that area.
Stand by me, stand by me, oh, stand by me, baby, stand by me, baby. So darling, darling, stand by me, oh, won't you stand by me, oh, I want you to
Look closely and you can see Mark and I sitting on the steps.
stand by me, oh, come on and stand, come on and stand.
Mark and Sue, awaiting the Trap Rock Parade and surrounded by wild strawberries.
Come on and stand. Come on and stand. Come on and stand. Come on and stand.
And what a parade it was. Here at the beginning of the parade. And then, as we proceeded, we saw Spider-Man riding in a red Camaro with his girlfriend. And we had the Biden presidential motorcade, which was followed by Biden's chase car, a white hearse. Perhaps my favorite float was this one, a two-person outhouse towed by a pickup truck.
Oh, there she goes. There she goes. Oh, oh, oh. There goes my baby, moving on down the line, wondering where she is.
And where could you see a float boat being carried on a float? And where can you see an inflatable ego looking like a grasshopper? Amazing.
What can I do? There goes my baby. There goes my baby.
Where could you see a black Ferrari trailed by three Ubers on horseback?
There she goes. Did she love me? Did she really love me?
The day was topped off by free beer at the Keweenaw Brewing Company. Notice the logo.
I wonder why she left me. Why did she leave me so all alone? So all alone.
We were then entertained by the Michigan Tech Marching Band. Note, each member has their own individual hat.
To be my guide, I wanna know where is my baby?
A very nice float boat. Docked right outside Mark and Sue's house. Michigan Tech is Mark's alma mater, and it is a very impressive institution. Quite coincidentally, on July 6th, the Wall Street Journal named Isle Royale National Park the best least visited national park in the United States. Isle Royale is about a 45-minute seaplane ride from Houghton. My view of Isle Royale from the air was quite beautiful. When I landed, the quietness of the place was amazing. Having arrived, I now had to decide what to do when I was there.
I have a dream, a song to sing.
As I made my way along Rock Harbor, I viewed the beautiful shoreline.
With anything, if you see the wonder of a fairy tale, you can take.
Unfortunately, I saw no wolves or moose during my little adventure.
I believe in angels, something good in everything I see. I believe in angels, when I know the time is right for me, I'll cross the stream. I have a dream.
But I kept my wits and I survived. I later learned that these weren't antlers at all, but the bones of stupid tourists like me.
And my destination makes it worth the while, pushing through the darkness, still another mile. I believe in angels, something good in everything I see. I believe in angels, when I know the
Always wanted to visit Wisconsin Dells, and this was my opportunity.
the street. I have a dream. I'll cross the street. I have a dream.
Where but in Wisconsin Dells could you see an 80-year-old duck boat sitting outside a t-shirt shop? A bit commercialized, I must say. Each duck is named after a person or a location associated with World War II. And each duck is over 80 years old. Just before we made it out onto the river, we passed some strange carvings derived from the Chicago Board of Trade building. This was simply very weird.
Down the line, wondering where, wondering where, wondering where.
Then the duck took to its aquatic nature, and off we go onto the Wisconsin River. Here are some views.
So all alone, what can I do? What can I do? There goes my baby. There goes my baby.
For an 18-year-old high school grad, Ben actually did a good job. Here's Ben at the helm of the Duck. I crossed the mighty Mississippi River at La Crosse, Wisconsin, traveled into Minnesota, and then on to Iowa. I visited with my cousins Joey and Stevie in Decorah, Iowa. My sisters and I spent many a summer in this house. The house hasn't changed much in 75 years. Except my cousin Jimmy now sleeps upstairs. Marcia Boschke designed the logo on the Boschke barn, and gave it to all the other Boschkas. Marcia's design included a shamrock, an ear of corn, a cow, and a Czech kolache. I never played softball very well at this park. Struck out a lot. In 2007, Aunt Leon and Uncle Danny died within 15 hours of each other. My oldest cousin, David, died in 2014 and is buried in the Trinity Churchyard in Protivin. My cousin Timmy then took me to Bluffton, Iowa, the site of my mother's original home. We also visited St. Bridget's Church, where she was baptized.
Before the West was won.
Bluffton lies along the shores of the upper Iowa River with its beautiful cliffs. My mother and I were both born in Cresco, Iowa, county seat of Howard County. This monument was erected by the proud people of Howard County to memorialize the soldiers who fought for the United States. My cousin Pat then took me over to Spillville, Iowa, to the Billy Clocks Museum and the home of Anton Dvorak in the summer of 1893.
It's all been done. It's all been done.
I took this photograph of Anton Dvorak's grave in 2018 while in Prague. It's been documented that in 1928, the Billy brothers turned down $1 million offered by Henry Ford for one of their clocks. It wasn't for sale. In 1893, Dvorak would sit by the Little Turkey River in Spillville and compose music. In 1925, this plaque was erected to commemorate Dvorak's visit. Council Bluffs is located in the extreme western part of Iowa, right across the Missouri River from Omaha, Nebraska. Goodbye, Tommy and Marcia. We had a great visit, and thank you. And headed west across Nebraska. Boy, was that dull.
It's all been done. It's all been done before.
Finally, I cross into the state of Colorado. Thank goodness. On my way to Estes Park, Colorado, and Rocky Mountain National Park.
She is bound, I broke her heart.
It was dusk when I arrived at Estes Park.
What can I do? What can I do?
The first thing I did in the morning was to take the tram ride. Established 1955.
There she goes.
From the top of the tram, at a great view of the Stanley Hotel, it is thought that the Stanley was the inspiration for Stephen King's novel The Shining and Jack Nicholson's movie of the same name.
She left me. Why did she leave me so all alone? So all alone.
These views were taken by me in the area known as the Alpine Zone, a very fragile and beautiful area.
To be my guide, I wanna know where is my
The view from Rocky Mountain National Park's Trail Ridge Road is nothing less than spectacular at 12,200 feet. On my way, I passed a herd of elk. Can you imagine? An RV made in Elkhart, Indiana, passing a herd of elk in Colorado.
And the land is dark, and the moon is the only light we'll see. Oh, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand.
On my way back, I passed a number of rafters who were having a great time, and also saw a fisherman. Very interesting.
By me, oh, stand now, stand by me.
My next scheduled stop was to visit my friends Jan and Neil Scanlon in Centennial, Colorado. Neil and I have been friends since high school. We visited the National Earthquake Information Center. Despite having no reservation, we talked our way into a private tour. We then visited the grave of Buffalo Bill Cody, overlooking Golden, Colorado. Buffalo Bill insisted on being buried on Lookout Mountain so he could overlook Golden, Colorado. Why would anyone want to get on a buffalo? But Neil was disappointed because he wanted to get on a buffalo. Wasn't happening. The view from Lookout Mountain was simply spectacular. Then I headed south to New Mexico and Taos. I spent a great night at the Hacienda del Sol in Taos. Heading south from New Mexico, I finally got back into Arizona, one of my favorite states. And now I'm visiting the Petrified Forest, the Painted Desert, Meteor Crater, and then, to top it off, I want to stand on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. What a fine day it was. And of course, I must give credit to that great singing group, the Eagles, and Don Henley. Meteor Crater was caused by a meteorite which struck this area 50,000 years ago. For about $25, you can view Meteor Crater and go to the museum. It was interesting. A meteorite, or at least a part of it. Courtesy of Photoshop, here I am standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. Rancho Sedona RV Park is truly one of the most beautiful parks in the United States. And of course, Joe put on a great dinner for me and my Arizona friends. Rodney Kunkel, Joe and Rose's son-in-law, offered to give me a private flight up to Sedona in his Cessna 182. Here's Rodney getting ready for the flight. The aerial view of the rocks over Sedona was simply spectacular. Sedona Airfield is located on a mesa overlooking the city. The flight back to Mesa was just as spectacular as the flight up to Sedona. Here Rodney gets ready to put his aircraft back into his hangar. On my way home, I was serenaded by some musicians at Amarillo. The desk clerk at the RV resort looked familiar. I had dinner at the Big Texan. Here, you get a 72-ounce steak for free if you can eat it within 1 hour. I didn't try it. Texans are noted for being quite horny.
For a poet and a one-man band, homeward bound. I wish I was.
For those interested in the 72-ounce challenge, note the timers in the background.
When my thoughts escaping home.
On my way to Branson, Missouri, I decided to miss the all-you-can-eat catfish restaurant.
Every day is an endless stream of cigarettes.
And what a show it was. The Haygoods, the #1 show in Branson. Located in the Clay Cooper Theater, 1,200 seats and totally sold out.
3, 2, 1. Let's get a visual on the Haggood. Roger, I've got him in sight. Catwalk is secure. Security personnel check in. Places, everybody. Well, let's kick this show off.
And now, please welcome to the stage 4-time Entertainers of the Year, the Hangouts!
What is happening here? Something's going on and it's not quite clear. Somebody turn on the lights. Yeah, we're gonna have a party. It's starting tonight. Whoa, what a feeling. And we're dancing on the ceiling. Whoa, what a feeling. And we're dancing on the ceiling. Whoa, what a feeling. We're dancing on the ceiling. Whoa, what a feeling. When we're dancing on the ceiling. Everybody's supposed to lose control and the music is right. If you see somebody hanging around, don't get uptight. I'm sitting in the railway station, got a ticket for my destination.
tour of one-night stands, my suitcase and guitar in hand, and every stop is neatly planned for a poet and a one-man band. Homeward bound.